Welcome back to Noviland. It's another beautiful day in paradise. Today we're going to have a little fun and I'm going to answer some questions. So, you're in Jin, you've joined the club and you've gotten the free cruise. Hooray! And so you probably have a few questions about going on a cruise. Maybe you've never been on a cruise before, maybe you've never been to a major event before, and now you're going to both and it's a cruise and what do you do? What do you pack? What's going to happen? So I'm going to try to answer a few fun questions, and maybe we'll learn something, or maybe we'll just have a few laughs. So let's see. Um, what do I got first? Hey, what are the food options? Because you're going on a cruise and you're going to want to eat. You're sailing for 5, 6 days, or however long the cruise is. This one happens to be 5 night cruise, and food on a cruise is great. You could literally eat your own weight. Now, in my case, that's a lot, um, but nevertheless, you could eat. You could eat plenty. There's an open buffet on a cruise, and it's free. It comes with your cruise ticket. Plus, because there's more, there's restaurants. Well, there's also two main dining rooms that are also free. I don't know if they have breakfast. You can check that, but they definitely have dinner, and they're actually very nice dining rooms. So you could have a really nice meal. You could dress up for that if you want. And I know they're having a formal night, so on formal night, that's a nice place to go. They also have specialty places that you could pay a little extra. Steakhouse, one of those places where they uh, crazy Japanese chef cooks at your table and throws the knives around, and everybody claps, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. And those are fun too if you've ever been to one of those. That'll be interesting to see how they do that on a rocking ship, but we'll see. So yeah, there's plenty of food. If you forget, if you forget to register for, or sign up or make a reservation at any restaurant, or if they're not available, don't worry because there's still plenty of food. There's also some bar and grills that are also complimentary that all comes with your ticket. So food not an issue. And as for the cost, it doesn't really cost anything unless you go to one of the specialty restaurants. Okay, here's the next one. Uh, when is the bar open? Now, for me, my bar closed a long time ago. But for some people, they're going to want to have a drink. Well, I kind of recommend the bar will be open when you get on the ship. There's already guys, there's probably a dozen bars on the ship, and you'll already see bartenders at certain ones, especially by the pool in certain areas. I recommend waiting to get to your sea legs. And if you've never sailed before, you're on a ship that's kind of rocking like that, and suddenly you're pouring alcohol into your system, and so you may want to not add a level of difficulty to getting your equilibrium base. If you've been on a ship, you know what I'm talking about. If not, we'll figure that out. Um, I made a little mistake the first time, and I had a drink before we set sail, and trying to hide a drink with an umbrella at a muster drill. I don't recommend that. So I learned. We either win or learn. Sometimes we do both. Let's see. What's the entertainment? What is there entertainment? Yeah, a lot of ships have entertainment. Norwegian has freestyle cruising. Every day you get this itinerary of all the things going on the next day. Since you're on a gin cruise, you'll have part of your itinerary will be um, where the general sessions are, hopefully a little bit about what the actual training is. Are they doing processes or where that's going, where you're supposed to go? They do actually have a show. I think on the formal night they're having a real show in the theater, and there's a couple different times because they just can't fit everybody in the theater at once. So song and dance, music, whatever they put on. I've been to some of these, and some of them are good, some of them aren't as good, but there's usually a variety. I've been to ones where there's a piano bar. I don't know if they'll have that. Sometimes they'll have a dance club. I think they have one of those. I think there's a bowling alley somewhere in there. There's games. There's all sorts of things. There might even be a climbing wall. I don't know if they still have that on the cruise. Um, I don't know. I did rebounding on a bouncing ship once. That was kind of fun. But a climbing wall, I don't know if I'd be really be up for that. When you're way up there, these cruises, you're already standing like 10 stories in the air above the water. Next one. We keep going. How big is the room? It's not. You want a big room? Well, maybe Kevin paid for the big room. If you get like the Haven Suite, the basic suites are all right, but they're not really that big. But most people are just in the regular rooms. I have a regular room with a balcony, which is nice because you get a little open air, and so it doesn't feel as enclosed. You're not in the room for anything other than to sleep and get ready. You go back and take a rest or something. So you have your bed. Your bed is fine. If you're in a small room, if you don't even know your roommate, that'll be fun too. You get to meet somebody and be in the small room with a stranger. But they're all part of the club, so that's kind of fun too. You get to meet somebody new and hear them snore at night, possibly, especially if you're my roommate. But the room isn't very big. The bathroom isn't very big, but it's big enough. So you'll have your suitcase, a little closet. You'll store things. You get them off to the side. There's room to sit. There's room to lay down. But it's not the place you want to sit. However, I will tell you a little something. If you're stuck on an inside room, and I don't want to say stuck like it's a bad thing, but if you're at an inside room that doesn't even have a window or a balcony, you could take that little TV, and there's always one channel on that TV that's a camera that looks out the front of the ship, so you can pretend that's your window. Not the best, but hey, it's something. Uh, it's, what if I get seasick? There's a bucket. No, I'm kidding. If you get seasick, well, you're in gin, so you're in luck. If you're in gin, you could do some tapping. I definitely recommend getting your sea legs when the ship sets sail, if possible. Kind of be outside. If not, after it sails or at some point, get outside, get on the top deck, get your equilibrium, get the feel of it. That really helps. Fresh air. If you're on, usually you get the most seasick when you're on the lowest decks. That's been my experience. It's not really bad when you first sail, and then eventually you kind of get used to it. Usually most people get used to it. I've been on Alaskan cruises where I'm sliding up and down the bed in rough seas at night, and I kind of had to lock my leg, and that was more fun. But I wasn't seasick or anything. So you never know. But if you're really really bad, the cruise does have seasickness pills. They offer that because I've seen people where just nothing worked. They tapped, they went outside, they did the work, and they were having a hard time. And you don't want to have a bad cruise, so it may not be your first option, but it's definitely an option, and you want to have a good cruise. So they always have seasickness pills. It is something people deal with. I still don't know how people sail through the Drake Passage, which is crazy rough, but we're not doing anything like that. We'll probably have calm seas. If we get a breezy day, it might rock a little bit, but it's not going to be that bad. Is it hard to find my way around? No, actually, it's not. Um, it, Ships are kind of like floating resorts. So, I mean, you find your way around a resort. The last event was at the Parma House. Places like that were big hotels. You can get a little lost, but it's not bad. There's signs show you your way around. You're not. It's not like you're getting lost in the woods. I got lost in the woods at the Opryland. You ever go to that one? Maybe they'll have an event there sometime. I got lost in the woods. I was still inside the building. I don't feel bad because I wasn't the only one though. But yeah, it's big, but you'll figure it out pretty quickly. It's not that bad. When you're on your floor, once you figure out where your room, take a little bit at first. You'll have some time when you first get on the ship, kind of acclimate, walk around, take your time. And once you're there after the first day, it's you'll figure it out. So no, it's not so bad. I got a lot more questions, so this video is getting long, so I'm going to make a part two. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to see you really soon on the cruise. Blessings, love you all.